So, welcome to a new episode of Rap TV. It's spring. This is how we socially distance in Bergen right now. This was taken today. This episode is going to be dedicated to our streaming and video production tools at Rap. I can't possibly go over everything that's happened since the last episode, and I think it would be nice just to specialise, just to sort of dedicate this episode to that. Before I get into it all though, I would just like to explain for those of you who might not be completely up to scratch on what RAP is and therefore who these tools are for. RAP is run by myself and Veronica Robles-Torset. We're both veteran interdisciplinary artists, and so the project's really based on our own experiences and needs as artists, and the assumption that if we need these things, then surely many other people also will need these things. But we understand and know and have an intimate knowledge and interaction with the space and the tools. So it's also an ecosystem that we have been developing for the 18 years of RAP's existence. It started as a very small thing in Ibsen's Gata, and it has grown to be the regionally important, nationally important centre for production of performing arts projects, visual arts projects, sonic art, and other interdisciplinary stuff that it now is. And these tools are really here for anyone working professionally outside of institutional frameworks. So the project is supported by the municipality of Bergen, by Vestland County Council, and by Arts Council Norway, which means that all our prices are very highly subsidised because they are for professional artists working outside institutional frameworks, and the prices are therefore designed to be compatible with that type of work and with the limited budgets that a lot of independent artists face. So our streaming equipment is no exception to that. But it's also very exciting and really cool. We've done a lot of great projects over the last year. I'm going to share some of them with you right now. So let's go to the first slide. This is 71 Bodies in First Person, the House. That was a series of live streams of discussions with a lot of interesting people with different perspectives on various gender issues. They streamed 5 of these from RAP in August last year, and they're now on 71 Bodies Vimeo page as a really interesting archive for anyone who's sort of interested in knowing more about those particular issues. This is from Borealis. Borealis Festival has a mentorship program every year called Ungkomponist, and this year they ran into some difficulties because their mentor Raven Chacon was in lockdown in Arizona. So we rigged up a whole bunch of really good studio microphones in the large project room, along with our new video cameras and stuff. We had microphones on the table for the composers there. Raven was on the big video monitor, and they had some monitors to listen to Raven on the table, and big monitors for the ensemble there, and all this enabled them to do the whole mentorship program for 3 or 4 days in the large project room, really quite successfully. They were very pleased with the setup and how it worked, and I'm just going to hop over that. So this, I'm going to bring myself back in here to tell you about this. Oh no, the picture's gone away again. So this image is from Sonisk Selskap, or the technical planning of Sonisk Selskap. It's actually a very simplified version. There were 3 video projectors there in Studio B, in the end. And it was such a complex project, it would be hard to really go into it in any detail. But it was using NDI, new NDI converters for video over network, using our expanded Allen and Heath D-Live digital mixing ecosystem for live playback, real-time playback of audio in different rooms. We had 7 dancers from Impro Lab Bergen improvising in different rooms, and 7 musicians in Studio B improvising there, while the technical crew were in Studio A, recording everything and streaming everything from Studio A. So let's look at some pictures from that. Here are the musicians in Studio B. Here's Paul Rasmussen, sound engineer, and Jonas Skarmark, streaming dude in Studio A. There's Studio B again, Studio A, Studio B. Here are the dancers from Impro Lab Bergen. 2 in the corridor, 4 in the big project room, and 1 in the white room. More pictures there. So Impro Lab Bergen is a large collective of professional dancers that improvise in different settings. So there we go. Another picture from the corridor. And I just wanted to put this in here as well because Butch Tribute was a project that was here fairly recently that used the AV Lab also in a really interesting way that we think a lot of people will enjoy, and that is that Studio A is a great place for composing and making music. You know, it's a good place for critical listening, and we're actually upgrading the acoustic treatments there as we speak. But this band was composing music for a series of modular short dance performances by Ann-Christine Berg Kongsnäs and Martha Sterud, and the band could just go through to the main project room, play their material, go back and work more on it while the dancers were developing their stuff. So that's one of the really cool things about having these rooms so close to each other. These things are going to be really interesting for a lot of projects. So now, without any further ado, let's have a look at our digital streaming and video production kit. Here we go. So I'm going to show you our new video stuff. This is our secret storage where all the good stuff is. We're going to bring this with us. Here's our sort of main streaming package. Up here we've got various tripods and stuff. Magic arm that can be clamped onto, you know, anything. My old Monfrotto. We've got the new Monfrotto for people that are out and about, need something really lightweight. Monopod. Let's bring this bag with us. This has got a bunch of converters and basically video over IP, video over network stuff that is very useful. Last but not least by any means, the ultimate little streaming in a box kit, used by just about everyone in Bergen. So at the heart of our new video equipment is our Lumix GH5. This is a really widely used and respected camera among professional videographers. It's not the newest, most fancy new camera, but it still does everything that you would want it to do in many different settings. The GH5 has a 20.3 megapixel sensor with the micro four thirds lens mount system, and we bought a fantastic Leica lens with a continuous aperture all the way to 1.7 f1.7, which means that we can get great video images in low light, like when we're filming audio glimpse concerts where the musicians are playing to a film and have to have particularly low light. This lens has enough zoom to get the shots you need for documenting and streaming concerts and dance performances, but if you want more zoom, you could swap to the 12 to 60mm lens that came with the camera. It has an aperture that gets smaller as you zoom, so if you're filming in low light and you need a wide aperture in order to let enough light in, then you can't really zoom much without losing light with this lens. The widest aperture setting at maximum zoom with this lens is f4, but that isn't a problem if you have enough light. This is our history disposal unit camera that we bought many years ago for our work and documentation, but it is still a very useful and decent camera and can be used by other RAP users in settings where a lot of cameras are needed. Lumix cameras have the world's leading image stabilization, which means that they give a much better image when filming handheld. The GH5 can film for an unlimited length of time in a wide range of formats, everything from very high quality 4K at 10 bits to various more compressed M4V and MOV files that are easier to deal with in terms of storage space and choice of applications that you use to look at them or to edit them. It has 2 card slots, so you can record high-resolution uncompressed footage to one card whilst also recording smaller M4V files to another card for quick and easy sharing and viewing with colleagues. Or you can do lots of different things with the dual card thing. You can also run them as a relay thing so that it will instantly swap to the second card if you run out of space on the first card. The camera has a lot of useful manual functions and controls that make it quick and easy to use. It also has a full-size HDMI output, which means you can plug a long HDMI cable straight into the camera with a solid connection, whereas micro or mini HDMI cables that you have to use with a lot of other cameras usually have a very limited length and the connection feels less secure. Our GH5 also comes with a professional XLR adapter that enables plugging in professional microphones or mixer sends for very good audio. And we have several accessories such as a mount for a studio quality shotgun mic, a cage for fastening even more accessories and handles, a dummy battery to make sure the camera stays on without changing batteries, 6 additional batteries and 2 chargers for long days of shooting, a lens adapter for using Canon lenses with the camera, and Peak Design's strap locks that can quickly be removed or fastened depending on the situation. We have those on all our cameras so that you can just quickly snap the strap on and off, because if you're working with a tripod it's often quite dangerous or tricky to have a strap dangling around. We have 2 of these Sony A6400s. Like the Lumix GH5, this is not the totally newest, most fancy camera either, but it's still a very appropriate and professional camera for streaming. It has Sony's world-leading autofocus, which works particularly well with these Sigma contemporary lenses. We have the same 16mm fixed lens on both our A6400 cameras. It's just an angle that works very well for a lot of streaming applications at RAP. The 1.4 aperture with Sony's APS-C sensor and lens mount gives absolutely fantastic performance in low light, so these work great for concerts like Audio Glimped, where we can have the lights as low as we want and still share really good images with the audience. These cameras also have a variety of really useful image profiles with high dynamic range for quickly dialing in a good look for your stream. We also have a wireless mic system, which is great for settings where you want to record someone while they're moving about or just without having a mic in the frame. Both the Lumix and Sony cameras are compatible with this wireless mic system. Also, both the Sony and Lumix cameras can be controlled remotely using a smartphone or tablet. I used my phone to adjust the white balance and exposure on the Lumix for this episode today, as it's virtually impossible to set up those kinds of settings without a camera operator who can see the whole scene while adjusting the camera. This is an 8M Mini Pro. There are basic 8M Minis, 8M Mini Pro ISOs, 8M Mini Extremes and 8M Mini Extreme Pros, but they're all made by Blackmagic Designs, and they all offer a pretty straightforward hub that you can plug some HDMI cameras and other video inputs into, and then you can switch and fade between them. All the Pro models, like this one, can then encode the program and stream it straight to your platform of choice from this network port. It has external audio inputs and lots of useful audio functionality. It's got picture-in-picture and keying effects, and additional features made possible by an external control application. You can monitor your inputs and program settings via the HDMI output, which can switch between all your individual inputs, or a customizable multi-view that allows you to monitor a lot of useful information. It can also output your program to a computer via USB for streaming or video conferencing with apps like OBS or Zoom. But if you're streaming straight from the network output, you can use the USB output to record to a hard drive, which is a good way to ensure that you have a good quality backup for your show. I record these rap TV shows using the 8M, which means I can present the whole show, switch to slides, do the whole green screen thing and other effects all by myself, and just record it to the disc for upload to YouTube later. So all this streaming malarkey is all well and good, but most of us can't wait to get back to a bit more live experiences and working with ambitious interdisciplinary projects that have a more significant and predictable physical dimension. That's where our new digital infrastructure at RAP can be really useful. So these are our NDI converters, which can encode and decode video between HDMI sources and ordinary data networks. So if you plug a camera into one of these boxes with an HDMI cable, then it will send the video from that camera onto a network using this Ethernet or RJ45 port. The NDI protocol or format is an open format that has been adopted by lots of software brands like Zoom, OBS, MadMapper, Touch Designer, and many, many more. In fact, there are free applications that will enable your smartphone to stream video using the NDI protocol to computers and boxes like these, as well as many free applications that enable you to view and send video from and to your computer over an NDI network. You can assign any NDI video source to any NDI video receiver or input, and even bunch video sources together into multi-view windows. Once you send video onto the network, either from a camera, a computer, a smartphone, or anything else, then that video feed can be picked up from anywhere on the network by multiple devices. So you could show the same videos on multiple screens and projectors in different rooms at the same time as they could be streamed by the 8M. This is the kind of thing we did during Sonisk Cellscarp. RAP has a very comprehensive network architecture that's designed to be used in different ways by technicians who are not specialists in IT. This means that we can set up dedicated networks for video and audio that will perform optimally within these designated roles. On a much simpler level, these NDI boxes provide a straightforward way to get a professional video camera into your laptop for streaming or whatever, although you will need to download the free NDI drivers first. Another type of converter that can be very useful in regard to video is these SDI converters. These convert to or from HDMI without any real compression. SDI and HDMI are both uncompressed video formats, but HDMI does not support cable lengths over about 10 meters, which can often be a problem. So these converters can therefore be used to extend the HDMI signal from a camera by sending the video over an SDI cable. That can then be over 100 meters long, and then you can convert it back to HDMI again at the other end if necessary. RAP has SDI cable between each of the rooms in the AV lab, so this is a great way to send video from one room to another, as we do if Studio A is being used as a broadcast control room. Right, well, thanks for watching. I hope that's been interesting, and I hope we can help you with your video and streaming needs. Don't hesitate to get in touch if you're interested in using some of this gear for your projects. Send us an email or whatever, and take care.